Hi, I'm Edsel Taylor. I'm 29 years old. I'm from Balclutha, New Zealand. I've been living and working as an English teacher in China for 4 years. In high school, there were some Chinese students. Me and my best friend both had a Chinese student living with us. So after we finished high school, we came to China and checked it out. At that time, I didn't really think about coming back for any length of time, but I guess it made enough of an impression that I ended up studying Chinese later on. Because I'd studied Chinese, it made sense. I needed to come to China, otherwise I'd just forget everything I learnt and it would have been a waste of time going to university at all. So I applied for English teaching jobs online, and a training centre here in Kunshan was the first one to get back to me. And so I talked to them and they seemed alright, and it seemed close enough to Shanghai that I could go there if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But importantly for me as well was I didn't want to go to Shanghai or Beijing because I thought there'd be too many foreigners and I wouldn't have much chance to practice my Chinese. So I wanted a smaller place where I was forced to speak Chinese more. 7.
8?
Yeah, I was going to say 7.
Is good?
I was going to say 7.
7 is okay.
7 is okay.
Alright. So why is 7?
Because Kunshan's safe, it's not too big and easy enough to get around in. You get paid an okay salary. Like, I think things are cheap enough here that if you're working as an English teacher, you're always going to have money left over.
Right.
You're never going to be tight for money. Well, I say most people. I've made a lot of good friends here in China. Other foreigners. A few Chinese, although I think it's more difficult to make good Chinese friends here. Just, I don't know, they're always busier or something. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if you're coming to live and work in Kunshan, it's a good place because the community is small. You can know most of the other at least the foreign teachers, other foreigners here. But also, it's really convenient to Shanghai. Like, if you find Kunshan's too small for you, you can go to Shanghai every weekend and go to clubs and do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
It's not such a big deal to go to the big city, but it's small and safe. Yeah, that'd be my main things. Favourite thing to do here, it was to go to the park and play football.
Citizens Park.
Citizens Park. Yeah, it was always just a pick-up game. Like you look for a team that's short of one player, or if there's 2 or 3 of you, just join a team. But it's not organised. It's not the same as a big sport.
Yeah.
But general exercise things. The big one until recently was the MMA class that you were part of.
Okay. Yeah. You had a good time. Good long year and a half run.
Yeah. Learned a lot. Learned a lot about myself as well in that as well.
Okay.
Maybe how international it is. Like for me, it's not so bad because I can read Chinese and I can speak Chinese.
Right.
But things like the bus, unless you actually know where the bus goes, if you look at a bus schedule at the bus stop and you can't read Chinese, you have no idea where it's going to go.
Right, yeah. That's been a problem.
So a few things, even pinyin would help, or just a little bit more English on public transport and signs, I guess.
Okay.
It's better now, the buses actually speak English to you as well. In the past it was only a Chinese announcement. It's getting there. It's getting there. Right, I don't know if it's the Chinese government or if it's foreigners that are being too relaxed, that there's not the same sports teams, or a big thing for New Zealanders is to be part of either a football team or a rugby team or some sort of team sports where you play on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And there just isn't that here in Kunshan. There's not for foreigners at least. Maybe there's some competitions around, but it's hard to access. It's hard to get part of a team. Just even if it was just translating whatever ads for activities into English more. A lot of what I find out about is just because of word of mouth. I have a Chinese friend that knows what's happening and happens to mention it. Oh, you're going to such and such. I think so, because I think if you're wanting to work and save some money, Kunshan is a good place. Like, I lived in Shanghai I would spend too much on just doing stuff.
Daily stuff.
Yeah. Whereas here, maybe the salary isn't as high as Shanghai, but you can live cheaply, easily. But there's still enough to do to keep you entertained when you have free time.